Hey everyone, today we are solving LeetCode problem number 2610. Convert an array into a 2D array with conditions. Okay, in this problem we are given an integer array nums like this, and we have to create a 2D array from it, satisfying the following condition. These are the condition. The 2D array should only contains the element from this array. We have to use all the elements from this array only. No addition or deletion of any element. And the second condition is each row in the 2D array contains distinct integers only. So every row in this 2D converted 2D array should not have any duplicate element, and the number of rows in the 2D array should be minimal, and we have to minimize these rows. So these are our three conditions we have to follow, and we have to convert this array in this 2D array and then return the 2D array. If there are multiple answers, we can return any one of them. Okay, let's try. And the constraint given to us is nums.length will be till 200. Okay, let's try to understand using this example. Okay, this is our given nums array, and we have to convert it into 2D array where each row will have only distinct elements. So let's try to fill it from the starting. 1 I have added to the first row, then 3, then 4, then there is 1 again. This one cannot go to the first row, this will be in the second row. And now 2 can go to the first row. Now 3 cannot go to the first row because 3 is already there. So 3 in the second row, and then we have 1. 1 cannot be in the second row or first row because both of the rows are already having 1. So 1 will go to the third row. So in this way, minimal number of rows required to us is 3. And we have to return this value. So how you can achieve that? The first approach came to my mind is like why don't I just count the frequencies of each element? There can be multiple brute forces. Like the first one is sorting this array and then trying to fill each row with whenever we encounter an array multiple times, try to fill in each row. The second approach can be like counting the frequency. So if I take a hash of every element, and in the constraint we are also given the nums of I, every value in this array will go from 1 to nums.length. So the values from this array can go from 1 to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 to 7 including. So I have to take an array hash array of size nums.length plus 1. Okay, so if I take this array, let's say I have taken this array 0 1 2 third index, fourth index, fifth, sixth, and now seventh. And now if I count the frequency, every element has a 0 initialized by default. The 1 is having 3 times, 0 is 0 times, 2 is 1, 3 is 2, 4 is 1, rest are 0. So now we have calculated the frequency. Now using this frequency we can fill our array, 2D array. Let's say we have 2D array. First of all, just take one element from this array from 0 to 7. From 0 to 7 I took one element, let's say 1 3 element. Now the frequency remaining is 2. Taken 1 2, updated frequency is 0. I'm also taking 3, updated frequency would be 1. Also taking 4, frequency would be 0. So 1 2 3 4 in the first row. In the second row I can take elements from these frequency like 1 and 3. In the third iteration we only have one element, 1, so I'm taking 1. So in this way, using this hash array, we can fill out this 2D matrix. But here what we analyze is that we did one iteration and filled the first row. We did second iteration, filled the second row. We did third iteration, filled the third row. Let's say if one element is occurring n times, in that case it will go, in the worst case, n into n, going n square in the worst case. We have to think that instead of iterating it iterating this hash array again and again, we have to find out some other way. I think if while we are filling this array, we first of all we iterated over our given input, and then we checked whether we have 1. So we added 1 here in the frequency. After that 3 is a 3, we added 1. 4 we added 1, and 1 again we updated 1 to 2. So we are already doing doing operations in this hash array. So while doing the operation with this within this hash array, why not we just fill our 2D array? Let me just prepare this hash array again. 1 3 4 1 2 3 1. Let's say this is my nums array, and using that I am preparing hash of length n plus 1. It is of n length. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay. First of all, it was initialized with 0 0 0 all. This is the 2D array we have to form. Now let's iterate over our given input. First of all, I encountered 1. For 1, I check the frequency that it is not having like it is the first time we are occurring 1. We are encountering 1. So for the 1, we will be adding in the 0th row the value already present in the hash. So now if I go to 3, for 3 it is 0 already. This is the first 3. So first 3 can go to the 0th row. Updated 1 frequency to 1, 3 frequency to 1. Now we have 4. 4 is occurring first time. So 4 will go in the first row because we have 0 in at the hash of 4. So from 0 to 1 it will become. Now we have 1 again. For 1, there is a value 1 already. It means 1 is occurring second time. Second time it is occurring, it means it should go to the second row. For the second row, we will just add 1 and then update the 1 frequency to 2. We have 2. 2 is occurring first time. So 2 will be going to the first row and frequency will be updated to 1. This is 3. 3 is occurring second time because we already have 3 visited previously. So now as the 3 is occurring second time, it should go to the second row. So 3 will go to the second row, which is equal to the this value 3, and this will be updated to 2. Now we have 1 again. 1 having a hash value of 2. It means 2 ones we have already visited, and this is the third one. Third one should go to the third row. Third row is equal to this value, that is 2. So this one will go to third row and it will be updated to 3. And now we are done with our nums array, so we can return this value. So what is the time and space complexity here? The time complexity is like we are iterating over our nums array. Let's say it is of length n. So the time complexity would be O of n, linear time. And what is our space complexity? Space complexity is going to be the maximum value this can have, which is also n. So space complexity will also be O of n, linear time and linear space in this case. Okay, hope you understood the problem. Let's code this approach. First of all, we will take the frequency array, new integer nums dot length plus 1, and let's also take a resultant or answer array, answer 2D array, new array list, and in the end we are going to return this answer. Now we have to iterate over our nums array. For int num of nums, what we will do now is we will get the existing frequency, how many nums we have already encountered. So answer dot get frequency of num. If this is the first occurrence, it means the frequency would be 0. So we have to add that num to the 0. So now dot add, which is num. After we have added, we can update the frequency num plus plus. But there is one thing missing, that this is our outer array list. In that, for the inside array list, we have to initialize it somewhere. The one thing missing is here is that if let's say I'm going to add the element in the zeroth row, what if the zeroth row is not initialized? In that case, that would be the issue. So by adding every element to the corresponding row, we will check whether that row exists or not. So for that, how do we check? Let's say we have the nums whose existing frequency is 1, and we are adding it to the second time. It means that the first row, index 1 row, should be existing in advance. Only in that case we can add that nums. So to check that, we need to see whether the frequency of num is greater than or equal to the size of this answer. If the frequency is 0 and the answer size is 0, it means that we have to add one row. Or let's say if the frequency size is 1 and the answer size is 0, it means there is no row in the answer and the frequency is 1. It means we have to add one row. Answer dot add new array list, because we have to keep the rows minimized. In that case, we will only add the row if it is required. So in case the frequency is greater than equal to array dot size, the frequency, let's say we are adding first element. The first element frequency is 0 and the answer size is also 0. It means we have to add one row. So 0th row we have to add so that the size becomes 1. So one row is added, and thus these elements are added, and then moving further. So this is our ON solution. Let's try to run over sample test cases. Working fine. Submitting the problem. Submitted successfully. Hope you understood the problem. If you have any doubt, you can comment down below. Thank you guys. Bye bye.